What's going on, guys? Playbox here. We're back for another Dragon Ball Legends video. In this one, we're going to be going over the best teams to run in PvP. And the reason why I'm doing this now is because we are currently approaching Legends Festival soon. And we all know that once the celebration hits, the complete landscape of PvP is going to change. Last year's Legends Festival, we had I believe the hybrids and like movie sagas were at the top of PvP. And although movie saga still remained kind of the top there, a lot of the best units in the game were completely fodderized after the banners dropped. Goku and Vegeta, sort of Trunks, just completely took over, and it's pretty crazy the amount of power creep that happens once the celebration hits. Not to say that there hasn't been power creep with all these recent units, but it's going to be at another level once this celebration does hit. And of course, there is a lot of speculation that Legends Festival is going to happen earlier this year, so I figured it would be a better idea to do this now. I don't think there's going to be any meta breaking units dropping from now until Legends Festival, so it's a perfect time to do it. So it was actually kind of hard to compile a list of some of the better teams in the game. It's really, a lot of these teams are pretty similar to each other because you're just running all the best units in the game on pretty similar builds, so it's kind of hard. So instead of like a top 5 best team, I just have a bunch of good teams to run. But the last team I will talk about is for sure going to be the best team. I mean, I don't think there's any debate over that. It's very clearly on top right now. I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about, but we'll save that for the end. So without further ado, let's just hop in straight into this. The first team we're going to talk about is GT. Yeah, right. This team's complete ass. The first team we're going to be talking about is actually God Key. Now, I know a lot of people like to think that God Key is kind of a shitty team. I see that a lot, but this team is actually pretty solid, especially now with, of course, Cooler and Broly running around. I think Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku has kind of gained some relevancy. Cooler does shut him down, obviously because of type advantage, but he's not a Super Saiyan unit, so he's not giving him type neutrality. He locks strike cards, which Cooler switches all his blaster strikes on entry, so he's obviously not going to be able to combo on entry unless he has like a blue card. And of course he's yellow, so he counters Broly, so he's actually gained some relevancy and some value here. And of course UI Goku is pretty much the best unit on this team. He's the core on this team. And then Beerus is really good. I honestly think Beerus is the main blue unit on God Key, and he gets a Zenkai buff from VB, who has a really good Z ability as well, so you would run him on the bench and to Zenkai buff him. And then of course Whis is also a very good support. Like Whis, Beerus, and UI Goku is actually a very, very solid team, and I feel like a lot of people underrated. And if you really need to, you have Kaioken Goku there to offer some support. Green units, even this Vegeta, can still dish out some damage with the lock-in. And we have Zamasu and Goku Black as a really good tank. So honestly, this team is pretty solid. Is what I've been using a lot, because Beerus and Kaioken Goku, I've been having fun using them. And I just refuse to use Cooler. This is just annoying. But going over to these next couple of teams, you're going to notice that a lot of these units in these teams are pretty similar. So I'm just going to talk about these 3 tags pretty much all together. So the next one is going to be Future, and alongside of it, we're going to have Powerful Opponent, as well as Lineage of Evil. Now, honestly, you can kind of separate Lineage of Evil from Future, but it's mainly this Powerful Opponent tag that kind of encompasses both these teams. Future, of course, we have the droids. This green Trunks is very good. Unfortunately, he's a Super Saiyan, so he kind of falls short there. Future Gohan just got his plat, but I honestly don't think he's anything special. VB is still decent, and then sort of Trunks, obviously being a Super Saiyan. But actually Future might not even make the cut, to be honest, because if you're looking at this team, a lot of the better units are Powerful Opponent, and if you're just gonna use the Powerful Opponent team, you might as well just make this team right here. Obviously Future has access to better equipments, of course some pure equips that Powerful Opponent does not have access to for whatever reason. But if you're gonna use droids and then like sell, you might as well just go Powerful Opponent, and then at that point you might as well use Broly and Cooler instead, or even Red Purple with Broly and Cooler. Broly and Cooler are going to be showing up in a lot of these teams because they're currently dominating right now. So yeah, and even Powerful Opponent has like a lot of other good units here. Cell, we talked about. Jiren is pretty good with his platinum equipment. Broly's decent. Tapion, of course, is still good. This Goku Black is a really good support unit. So they have a lot of good options. And then if we go into Lineage of Evil, it's kind of similar. We have Cooler, this first form Frieza. That's a pretty nasty combination. I see a lot of people going for, this Frieza's green card, and then switching over to Cooler, lock in. You can either rush and ultimate. It's just, there's so many combinations you can do with these two. And then Mecha Frieza is actually very solid as well. I feel like a lot of people underrate him, but he's actually pretty solid. Blue card does a lot of damage, and he's able to dish out some good damage. He also has a lock-in on his main ability, which is pretty ridiculous. And of course, the biggest thing with this team is, of course, the Dragon Ball manipulation. Like, it seems like all these units just destroy Dragon Balls. Golden Frieza, still very top-notch. This Metal Cooler at 14 stars can actually dish out some pretty good damage. Wait, why is Thouser on Lineage of Evil? What? Is this a mistake? Why is he on Lineage of Evil? He doesn't even have the tag. He just buffs the tag? There's no way. He just buffs the tag without being on the tag. That is weird. Okay, I didn't even know that. But yeah, you can just run all these units, and of course just leader slot someone else. The leader slot allows you to just use all these units on the same team, so that's why I just kind of grouped them all together. And you're gonna notice that in the next team, or not the next team, one of the later teams that we talk about, it's gonna be pretty much a similar build to this, with the exceptions of a few characters here. But Future, I think Future, you might probably want to exclude this tag. I just brought it up because, Droid Cell, they're pretty good. Just Trunks is also very good, but if you're gonna go Droid Cell, you might as well go powerful opponent, and at that point you have access to better units. So I might just close that and just continue off of here. Powerful opponent and Lineage of Evil. Next up, we have the Saiyans tag. Saiyans is always going to be somewhere at the top of these lists. They just have too many good units. So it's like a no-brainer, right? Super Vegito, Super Gogeta, Double Ultra. Of course, Super Vegito's value has lowered a lot because of Cooler, but I always say this, if you don't run into a Cooler for whatever reason, which is honestly pretty common, I wouldn't say it's rare. I think 30% of your matches, you probably might not go up against Cooler, maybe even 40. And at that point, Super Vegito remains the best unit in the game. I don't care what anyone says, he remains the best unit in the game if you don't go against Cooler. I think a lot of people would agree with that. And then Super Gogeta, of course, still a phenomenal unit. Almost what is it, 9 months, 10 months after his release? Dude's just still going strong. Top 3 unit in the game. UI Goku comes here. Dragon Fist Goku, still a decent option. I know a lot of people like to say he's mid, but I still think he's pretty good. Like, this team is always going to have strong units and is always going to be at the top here. But at that point, if you're running like these two Ultras, you're probably going to want to run like, Ultra Broly, who is a Saiyan, but he doesn't buff Saiyans. But if you're going to run him on the leader slot, so it doesn't really matter at that point. So yeah. You're probably just going to be running a Fusion Warriors tag, which is the next tag we're going to be talking about. Fusion Warriors and Saiyans is pretty much, I guess, the same thing, because a lot of these units are in both teams. Fusion Warrior right now is basically Ultra Super Vegito, Super Gogeta, and Ultra Broly. Or if you want, you can run MUI Goku or Cooler on the leader slot. You're not really going to be running any of these other units. It's just that's how it is. Like, you're not going to be running them. If you're not running Super Vegito, you're probably going to be running like... if you're not running Super Vegito, you're just not going to run this team. You're just going to run like a Saiyans team, I guess, with someone else. Bardock is actually pretty solid with his platinum equipment. You can run him. He's not a Super Saiyan, so he's not going to give that type neutrality, but you're most likely going to run him with Ultra Gogeta, who's going to give Cooler the type neutrality regardless. So yeah, Saiyans and Fusion Warrior is pretty much just Super Vegito, Ultra Gogeta, and just any other top unit in the meta, like Broly or Cooler or whatever. So there's that. Honestly, it's pretty crazy how much Cooler has changed everything. But those are pretty much, the most common teams you face. And then we come over to pretty much the best unit in the game, undisputed best unit in the game, the most common team. Did I say best unit? I meant best team in the game, and it's going to be Sagas from the movies. Now, it was already the best team in the game prior to Ultra Broly's release. Prior to even Cooler's release, it was a top 3 team in the game. You could argue it was even the best team. Like, that's how good it was. And then they gave us 2 Z plus tier units on top of that. Like, what? Cooler just completely destroyed PvP. I don't think I ever said this, but I think Cooler might be the single most annoying unit I've ever faced. I think it's a unit I hate the most ever in this whole game's lifespan. I don't think I've hated a unit as much as this Cooler. I hate them more than Prime Androids. I hate them more than Prime VB, Prime FSK, Purple Broly. Like, I just hate this unit so much. Obviously, I hate him. There's even more hatred towards this unit because he completely nullifies or invalidates my favorite unit, Ultra Super Video. But just the playstyle that involves this unit is just that you switch in, you either drop or you don't drop. As an opponent, you have a 50% chance of guessing it, and if you guess wrong, you pretty much lose because he locks you in, and then he pops the main, or he just goes for a rush, and you just lose a unit. And that's pretty much every single case whenever this guy switches in. It's just such a stupid playstyle. I don't know what they were thinking when they made this unit. It's just stupid. It involves no skill whatsoever. It's just dumb. But yeah, I mean, this team has so many different variations within this team. Like, you can run Cooler, Broly, and then Ultra Gogeta on the leader slot, or even on the... You probably run him on the leader slot because Ultra Broly's Ultra abilities for movies. I don't know why. But yeah, that's probably the most common build you'll see. Or you can go... I've seen a lot of people run Cooler, Ultra Broly, and then Revival Gohan, PPR right there. And then you have Revival as a crutch for Rising Rushes. Or you can run, Tapion, Revival Gohan, Super Saiyan 3 Dragon Fist Goku, or Tapion, Revival Gohan, Ultra Gohan, or Ultra Gogeta. There's just way too many options you can run. They have a full color wheel of top 10, arguably top 10. No, okay, not top 5, but for sure a top 10 list there. Obviously, you can argue that, Tapion or Dragon Fist Goku aren't really top 10 anymore, but they have very good options here. Like, the 3 best units in the game is this team. Ultra Gogeta, Cooler, and Broly, I would say, is the top 3 units in the game, and they're all on the same tag. It's just, I don't know what they're thinking. Powerful opponent campaign, yeah, that's not true. It's a Lineage of Evil / Movie Saga campaign. Like, this was a powerful opponent campaign. They ended it off with Broly. The least they could have done is give this Broly's Ultra ability for powerful opponents. Like, what was the point of this being here? Now, obviously, it's good for him, right? He's able to be run on movies, but it would have been a lot better, and it would have made a lot more sense if this was just powerful opponent. Like, I have no idea why they did that, but they did it. The devs are known to make stupid mistakes. Right here is the prime example of one of the biggest mistakes they've ever made. I despise this unit, and I can't wait for him to fall off eventually, in probably a year or two. Actually, seeing how power creep is going, he probably might be gone after Legends Festival. We'll just have to wait. I would love that, but if this guy gets power creeped, every single unit is gonna be ass. Like, it's just crazy. I think you guys understand that I hate this unit, but that's pretty much all the best teams in the game right now. It's pretty focused on, the top 10 units right now. If you don't have any of those units on your team, it's very hard for you to compete in the higher ranks of PvP, so it is what it is. I'm very interested to see how Legends Festival is going to reshape this meta, because it's known to do that, so I'm definitely excited. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe, because that's just so important, so don't forget. Other than that, have a great day. See ya.